Alrighty, good morning, everybody. We are live, Facebook Live. Excited. Thank you so very much for being with me this morning. It is Friday. Thank God, Friday. Looking forward to all that God has for us today. Looking forward to the weekend. It is August 1st. We're there. We are at that part of fall where things are starting to get cooler. The days are starting to get darker again, and I'm getting happier and happier. Last night it was dark before 10 o'clock, and so I was very happy. Now it's rainy and cloudy, so maybe that has something to do with it. But looking forward to all that God has for us. Looking forward to what God is doing. Looking forward to today and the weekend. And please pray. We've got some hospitalizations and sickness and different problems, difficulties going through the church. A lot of good information. Most of the people have been taken care of. They're on the recovery and the mend, and so please keep them in prayer. But this morning, I'm thankful for. So on my way to church this morning, as I mentioned in the past, there's a lot of construction. There's a lot of different problems and things. And Germans, when there's a street construction, when something's going on, they've got these white barricades they'll put up all the way around what's being worked on. And so this morning, I'm thankful for guardrails. As I was driving to church this morning, I'm going through this little mountain road, and it's curvy, and you know, one side of the road there's guardrails, and I'm thankful for guardrails, because guardrails generally indicate an area of danger, a place where we need to be careful, a place where we need to avoid. I've always been fascinated with off-limit areas. With places that you're not supposed to go, the secret places, the off-limit places, and what I've discovered is most of the time those off-limit places are just off-limits to keep people safe, not because there's anything special or secretive, not because there's anything back there you're not, you know. There are secrets, understand that, but generally places are off limits just to keep people safe. When I worked at Wonder Bread, we had this room where the electrical power, the main lines from the power company came into our building, and we had a problem with one of the connections, and so we had to have the city of Memphis turn off the power to our building, and we worked on it, and the company that was working on it, whatever they did wrong, where the power came into the building, the connector that they were working on, when they turned the power back on, it arced, and the electrical power coming into our building, again, we're an industrial building, was had so much electricity, so much current, so much power behind it, that it arced and it melted everything in the cabinet. There was so much heat, so much power, and it vaporized it. It didn't just melt it, it vaporized it, and the carbon and all of this was all over the walls and equipment in this room. And so we ended up shutting the plant down for a week while these electrical guys cleaned everything, because carbon conducts electricity. And this room, where the power comes in, it came into a cabinet, and that cabinet was locked, and outside the cabinet there was a door on that room, and that door was locked because it was a dangerous place. We didn't want people to get hurt. We didn't want people to mess around. It wasn't because there was anything secret or anything special in there. It was just because we didn't want people to get hurt. We didn't want people to not knowing what they were doing. Now, even the guys who years of experience knew what they were doing still made mistakes. But the construction areas with the guardrails and things like that, they're not guarded to keep us out of there. They're guarded to keep us from getting hurt, from accidentally doing things. And so throughout our life, God puts warnings, God puts off-limit signs, God puts these signals to tell us to be safe, to be careful, to don't go there, don't do that. And too often we think it's God trying to keep something from us. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, an amazing example of that. God's trying to protect us. God's trying to keep us safe, and we're like, well, I know better. I know differently. I have a lot of experience in that area. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to, And so we rebel, we get angry, and we do it our own way. We step out and do things. And again, Adam and Eve, they had the perfect environment, the perfect the garden, the food, everything was there. There was no, and decided the one thing that we couldn't have was the one thing that would make us happy, the one thing that we absolutely had to have. Even though God said it was going to end in our death, we couldn't have it, and we decided that's the one thing we absolutely had to have. And so when you come upon warning signs, when you come upon danger signs, when you come upon off-limits signs, when you're reading the Bible, or when you're talking to somebody and say, oh, the Bible says you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, when the Bible says, that's not a good thing to be doing, don't rebel and say you know better. Don't. You may have a lot of experience in that area. You may be perfectly safe, but one time you let your guard down, the one time there's so much danger in that. Is it even worth playing with? Is it even worth doing? Is it even worth? Now, the electricians, they made great money. They knew what they were doing. They were safe. In fact, when they turned the power back on, they took a lot of safety precautions. But one guy was in the room watching everything happen, flipping the switch, and he got hurt, and not bad, but he got hurt. And so when you find warning signs, when God says don't do this or stay away from this, when God says stay out of that area or guard your heart or don't lie, let's listen to God, because to be honest, for that to come into effect, someone had to get hurt, someone had to learn that lesson. And so watch out for the warning signs. They're not there to keep things from you. They're not there to hide something that you need. They're there to keep us safe. So I hope you have a great Friday. I hope your weekend is wonderful. Please pray for our church services. Pray for the people in our church that are either traveling or sick or recovering. And pray for the people around you as well. Y'all have a great Friday. God bless.